ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Om. Today we will start off our discussion with an Agni Suktam from Utkila Katya. Suktam 16, Chandas Brihati Sato Brihati. I am Agni Suviryasya 3.16.1. This sword of Agni is the master of good strength and great prosperity. He is the lord of good progeny and wealth. He is master of slayers of enemies or wicked persons. Here, some of the attributes of Agni, who is personified energy, since energy as such is inert matter, are listed. They have been discussed one time or other before. 3.16.2. Imam Naro Maruda Saschata. Maruts driven by Agni are good leaders of men. In them, wealth and happiness tend to increase all the time. This puts one on all-round growth. Maruts fight and win over evil-minded men and conquer all the enemies. Agni and Maruts co-act both in the atmosphere as well as in the bodies of born creatures. Acting together, they give happiness to all. Here again, enemy could be within one's own mind. Incidentally, Maruts or wind, which is moving air, is produced by Agni the sun. 16.3. Sattvam no raya shishihi. O possessor of much wealth and showerer of glorious happiness, Atmiya Agni, please oblige us with wealth, good progeny, health, strength and happiness, and ever increasing vigor. Meaning of the shrik is quite clear, and hence no explanation need be given. 3.16.4. Chakriryo Vishwa Bhuvanabhi. Who is the creator of all objects in this universe, who excels all in might and endures, he is worshipped among all enlightened persons. He rests or stays with these enlightened souls. He accomplishes the noble desires of leaders of men and is the object of praise of brave men. Here the Creator could be the manifested self or Atmiya Pavamana Soma for reasons explained earlier. Agni is one of the manifestations of matter caused by the manifested self. 3.16.5. Mano Agni Mataye. O son of mental might Agni, please consign us not to evil intellects, to cowardice, to lack of power of the senses, nor to reproach. Please drive away all animosities from us. Agni is being requested to drive away all evil forces from the seer of the Sukta and his co-sacrificers. 3.16.6, the last stroke in this Sukta. Shakti Vajasya Subhaga. O prosperous spiritual Agni, you are the Lord of good food and knowledge and of noble progeny in this non-violent sacrifice. O possessor of glorious wealth, please cause happiness, fame, and abundant wealth to flow to us. Here, wealth and happiness could be spiritual or physical. More than that, no further explanation may be necessary on this work. We go to the next Suktam, Suktam 17, from sage Kata Vaishwamitra. Devata Agni Chandas Trushtu Samithyamana Prathamanudharma 17.1. Agni, spiritual, beautifully shining, came into being for the first time as per the decree of the Creator. He is universally accepted, is having hair like flames because of oblations of ghee. He is purifier of all. He is remover of all sins and is a performer of good sacrifice. Agni is kindled the morning and evening for honoring enlightened souls. Agni, or energy, manifested as one of the 5 basic forms of matter as decreed by the Creator. One of the forms of Agni is sacrificial fire. Virtues of Agni, and in particular fire, are listed in this rak. 3.17.2. Yathayajo Hotram Agne. O knower of all born beings, soul of Agni, as you adore the sacrificial oblations of the earth and is blessed with knowledge of those of the space also, with those oblations, please honor the enlightened beings. Please perform this knowledge sacrifice today like a thoughtful person. Agni has been accepting happily gross and subtle oblations from the sacrificers earlier. May he accept the offering that are being made now in this sacrifice. This is the gist of the rak. We go to next rak, 3.17.3. Trinyayum Shritava Jataveda. O knower of all born beings, spiritual Agni, your 3 spans of life and 3 dawns are well known to all. With them you please honor the enlightened persons and be their protector. Then, O knower of all, you please bestow joy on this performer of sacrifice. Of the 3 dawns, 2 of them refer to gross twilights in the morning and evening every day. The third one is the permanent dawn of self-knowledge. So also, the 2 lifespans refer to the daily birth and death of sacrificial fire and the limitless, and the third one is the limitless span of the self. Next we go to 17.4. Agnim Sudijim Sudrisham Grinanto. O knower of all born beings, Atmi Agni, we, your worshippers, make obeisance to you, who is a good protector and is beautiful and admirable. The enlightened souls have made you the bestower of happiness, the source of eternality, bearer of oblations and messenger of the self. Activities of all living creatures are to be considered as sacrificial oblations offered to the witnessing self. Agni acts as a go-between the self and the oblations giving of sacrifices, or through or making use of Agni, enlightened souls attain the state of birthless Brahman. Last look in the Sukta 17.5. Yastvat hora purvo Agne. O soul of Agni, you should follow the duties of a highly knowledgeable, liberal donor and institutor of sacrifice who has acquired much happiness before in two ways, with food and with excellence of knowledge. Then you please uphold the sacrifice in all assemblies of enlightened souls. Enlightened souls by their activities had realized the self earlier. Agni was a witness to all of them. With that knowledge, may Agni control the sacrifices of all enlightened souls now. This is the concluding prayer of the seer of the Sukta. Katha Vaishamitra's next Sukta, Suktam 18, is on Agni Chandasis Trushto. Bhavano Agne Sumana Ubedau. O spiritual Agni, on approaching you, be favorable to us like a friend to a friend, or like parents to a child. Please burn away all those wicked persons who are enemies and are opposed to the interests of good men. May Agni treat the seer of the Sukta and his co-sacrificers as his friends or sons. Essentially, this is the meaning of the first part of the Rig. Then Agni should protect them from their enemies, who may be within their own minds or external to them. 18.2. Taposhvagne Andaran Amitran. O soul of Agni, please punish those who are unfriendly and wicked, but always admire a person who is non-violent. O burner of wicked persons and virtuous leader, being blessed with true knowledge, please instruct people who are devoid of knowledge. May enlightened souls be free from old age and diseases and be close to you. Enlightened souls are identified themselves with the self, and so also is Agni within the heart space of all living beings. 18.3. Idmenagna Ichamano Grutena. O spiritual Agni, desiring welfare of all, I offer oblations to you in the form of fuel and ghee for conquering all diseases and for strength. I pray for the brilliant spiritual intellect cherished by learned persons for acquiring infinite wealth of all kinds. First part of the Rig refers to grass or physical Agni or fire, and the second part to spiritual Agni. 18.4. Uchhojisha Sahasas Putras Tudo. O son of might Agni, praised by us, shining brilliantly, you please give to persons who have risen above the desire of mundane worldly enjoyments and who are friendly to all, great vital power, wealth, long life and happiness. O accomplisher of many deeds, we shrine your body many times with oblations. This is just a simple prayer addressed to Agni for physical, mental and spiritual wealth and strength. Last stroke in the Sukta 3.18.5. Kridhi Ratnam Susasnit Susas Susanitrat Dhananam Susanitrat Dhananam 3.18.5. O just distributor of wealth, Agni, please bestow on me the jewel of all wealths. When you shine brightly, you become showerer of wealth. You dwell in the home of a prosperous devotee with your supple arms extended. You hold much wealth in your beautiful bodies. The jewel of all wealth is definitely self-knowledge, Atma, truth. Part of the Rig talks about physical wealth such as dwelling, etc. This implies that the wealth that the seer of the Sukta has in mind includes both physical and spiritual wealth and knowledge. Now we go to Suktam 19, which is from sage Gathi Kaushika, father of sage Vishwamitra, Devata Agni, Chandas Trushtu. 3.19.1. Agnim Hodaram Pravrune. I choose in this admirable knowledge sacrifice soul of Agni, who is a liberal donor, is dexterous, is wise, is a knower of all Shastras and is free from ignorance. He brings enlightened persons to us who are performing the sacrifice excellently and enables us to obtain riches which are properly distributed and endowed with knowledge. In this Rig and in all other suktas of sage Gathi, Agni stands for the soul of energy and not the lifeless or gross energy. Meaning of this Rig is not difficult to understand, bearing this point in mind. Properly distributed wealth could mean materialistic, mental and spiritual wealth. We go to next sukta, next Rig 3.19.1. Prate Agne Havishmati. O Agni, I approach you, who is the possessor of oblations. He is brilliant and is full of good light. He is generous and is anointed with ghee. You accomplish this sacrifice, extending enlightened shining beings who tread along the right path with food, gifts and other articles. First part of the Rig contains some attributes of Agni which should be familiar to all by now. Agni encourages enlightened souls to attend sacrifices, especially knowledge sacrifice, which helps ordinary people to gain knowledge. Sacrifices are not meant as celebrations. That 3.19.3. Sa tejiyasa manasa tora. O Agni, with light of wisdom and intellect, please instruct us as though we are your own children. Under your guidance, praising you well, may we have abundant wealth which makes us happy. This book seems to be very clear and so may not need any further explanation. 3.19.4. Bhurini hi tve dadhire. O most youthful learned Agni, the people who are worshippers of enlightened beings preserve in you many armies of flames. May you bring here all shining beings. May you manifest your spiritual strength today, here, now. This could be a description of a physical or gross sacrifice made to a fire in which the sacrificers give as oblations ghee and other food articles. The fire burns brightly with these oblations, manifesting the strength of Agni in the form of fire. May Agni manifest his spiritual form to the seer. 3.19.5. Yatva Odaram. O Agni, enlightened souls who live for the welfare of others, desire you, who is the acceptor of sacrifices in this worthy knowledge sacrifice meant for uniting people with wisdom. Please be our protector and instruct us. Please bestow on our bodies the gift of glory. This is the concluding rig of the knowledge sacrifice in honor of Agni. As such, it is quite self-explanatory. Another sutta from sage Gathi follows. Suttam 20. This sutta is on Vishwadeva and Agni. Chandas is Trishto. The whole sutta consists of prayers which are not difficult to understand and virtues attributed to the different shining beings are mentioned here. 3.20.1. Agnimushasam Ashvina. Bearer of oblations, praise Agni, the dawn, Ashwins, and the morning sun, the Dhikra, with hymns at daybreak. May the enlightened beings or souls, whose light of wisdom is splendid, loving and serving one another equally, desiring this knowledge sacrifice, listen to these hymns together. The Dhikra is considered to be a swift horse, a personification of the morning sun. The Dhikra can be the universal source of power. .20.2 is the next track. Agni 3 Te Vadina 3. O born from Vrita, Agni, you are possessed of 4 triads of qualities: knowledge, achievement and movement, 3 places of rest, 3 kinds of eternal speeches, 3 kinds of bodies that are desired by enlightened beings or enlightened souls. Always alert and awake, please protect our speech hymns. 3 virgins are knowledge, achievement and movement. 3 resting places are the space, atmosphere and earth. eternal speeches, three of them are three Vedas, and the three bodies are the sun, the lightning, and the fire. 3.20.3 Agne Bhurini Tava Jatavedo. O resplendent Agni, you are knower of all beings and possessor of various kinds of nectar-like foods. You are immortal and holder of many names. O friend of all questioners, please destroy wickedness of wicked persons and infuse strength to all. Agni, being the soul or personified form of energy, manifests in different forms, each having its own name. Energy gives strength to all. As Agni, the soul of energy, is considered to be a teacher, he is always ready to answer questions. 3.20.4 Agnirneta Bhaga Iva. Soul of Agni is like the controller of earth and other shining bodies. He is the protector of seasons. He is a leader. He is the embodiment of truth. He is the dissipator of clouds. He is bestower of happiness. He is knower of all and is resplendent. May he take the invokers across all evils. Agni provides energy to all celestial bodies, including the earth and its inhabitants. The soul of energy, Agni, is a manifestation caused by ignorance of truth. As the sun, he is the dissipator of clouds. Other part of the ruk should be clear enough. Last ruk in the Sukta, 3.20.5. Dadhikram Agnimushasam. O man, I praise here the morning sun, the Dhikra, Agni, the shining dawns, master of knowledge, resplendent creator, the Ashwins, Mitra, Varuna, Bhaga, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, and the 12 Adityas. 8 Vasus are presiding deities of the 8 directions. 12 Adityas are deities representing the 12 months. Of course, these are all mental concepts of intelligent sages. Suktam 21 from same sage Gati. Devata is Agni, Chandas is Trushtup, Anushtup, Virat Rupa Sato Brihati. In this Sukta also, Agni is considered as a living entity or personified energy and not inert matter. Or here Agni means personified energy or soul of energy. 3.21.1 Imam no yajñam amrteshu O knower of all born beings, Agni, please enjoy this sacrifice of ours and give these oblations among the immortal enlightened beings. O Agni, you are the first and foremost among the sacrificers. Please partake these offerings which are greased with ghee. All the rest in this sukta refer to oblations greased with ghee. This may give the impression that a gross form of sacrifice is meant here. Medasa Ghritasya may also mean of fattening waters. Then all the rigs take a different meaning from what is given here. As it is, the rig is self-explanatory. Gridavanta Pavagate 21.2. O purifier Agni, you are a mover in the eternal path of dharma. Offerings which are greased with ghee flow towards you for the distribution among enlightened beings. Please give us the most acceptable, excellent wealth. Oblations or offerings in a knowledge sacrifice mean Vedic hymns. Knowledge of fattening water particles that flow to Agni may be made known to enlightened persons. Could be another interpretation of the rig. Excellent wealth, of course, is the knowledge of the self. 21.3. Tubhyam stoka Ghritaschudogne. O discerner of truth Agni, these offerings are greased with ghee. They are meant for you, who is very wise. You are shining brightly like a venerable sage. Please be a protector of this sacrifice. Knowledge or hymns of fattening waters is meant for Agni, who is shining brightly with wisdom. May Agni protect this knowledge sacrifice. This is the alternate interpretation for the rig. Fattening waters may mean evaporation of water. 3.21.4. Tubhyam Chodandyadhrigo, O knower of meaning of mantras and endowed with good intellect, spiritual Agni, oblations greased with ghee flowed towards you. Praised by wise men, please come to this sacrifice with excellent splendor. O intelligent Agni, please enjoy our oblations. Based on the interpretation given to the two previous rigs above, alternate interpretation for this rig easily follows. Virtues attributed to Agni have already been dealt with before. 3.21.5, the last trick in this sutta. Ojishtham te madhyato meda. O provider of dwellings for mankind, Agni, we give you what is the best and the most element of love. Oblations greased with ghee flow towards you for the preservation of your skin and body. Please distribute them among the enlightened beings. The alternate meaning of oblations fit in very well here also. Water particles flow to Agni in the atmospheric air as though fattening his body and making it gleam in the sunlight. An interesting aspect of this sutta is that all rigs here refer to a particular type of oblation. Now we go to Suktam 22 from Sage Gathi. Here Devata is Purushya Agnaya, Chandasi Strushtup and Anushtup. I am so Agnir 3.22.1, in whose stomach Indra has placed the speedy fire, which is like the mighty wind. That Agni, for doing good to thousands of born creatures, desire the born or extracted Soma essence, Atmiya Soma essence, and food. O knower of all born beings, you are admired by all when you distribute things desired by them. This refers to Jఠrāgni, the manifested self, caused the manifestation of energy in the stomach of innumerable living creatures for giving them energy necessary for all their activities. Jఠrāgni is maintained by the food eaten by each creature, which can be plants, animals, or human beings. 3.22.2, the next trick is Agneyate Divi Varcha Prithivyam. O unifier Agni, your splendor that is in the light, that is on the earth, that is in the plants, and that is in the water particles, extends to the atmosphere and the space. You are resplendent like the sun, deep as the ocean, and you are the observer of mankind. It is being mentioned here that light, heat, electricity, Jఠrāgni, they are all different forms of Agni or energy. As Jఠrāgni, Agni is the observer of mankind, or as a matter of fact, all living creatures and shining beings or objects. Agni Divo Arnamacha, that 22.3. O Agni, like the rays of the sun, you overcome water particles. Being benevolent, you help the enlightened persons. You know what is there in the light beyond the sun and those flowing waters that are there. Sun's rays drink up the water or overcome the water. Spiritual Agni, the soul of energy, leads intelligent men to the self, in that way helping them. Agni, the soul of energy, is aware of the non-matter self, which is beyond the inert energy of the sun and also beyond the manifested water. 3.22.4. Purishyaso Agnaya, pervading 22.4, pervading the protectors like the earth, may these Agnis accept and serve this sacrifice, along with enlightened beings or enlightened souls, loving one another, free from malice and diseases, giving food and good speech. This rak is a simple prayer addressed to Agni, which is easy enough to understand. 3.22.5. Ilamagne Purudam Sam Sanim Go. We go to next Suktam 23. This is from Devasrava Devamada Cha Bharatau. Devata is Agni, Chandas is Trushtu, Sato Brihati. Nirmathita Suthita Sathasthe. Soul of Agni, well placed in his abode in the atmosphere, gets agitated by the wind. He is ever young, is undecaying, and is knower of all born beings. He is the conductor of non-violent sacrifice. He plays amidst consuming forests and upholds water in vapor form. Agni stays in the atmosphere as latent heat of evaporation of water. The clouds carry water vapor containing heat energy. They get agitated by the wind As fire, Agni consumes trees in the forest. Next we go to 23.2 Suktam. Amantishtam Bharata. O spiritual Agni, you are the upholder of all and nourisher of all men. Impelled by the Creator, a man who listens to the words of enlightened persons generates the fire of knowledge. This fire leads to much wealth when used properly every day. May you become bringer of food and knowledge to us. Here the Creator may mean the manifested self. The self within impels a person to gain knowledge of the self which was generated by enlightened persons before. This self-knowledge brings eternal bliss to that person. Any intelligent person making use of knowledge of energy daily can obtain physical wealth, food, etc. 23.3. Dashakshiva Puryam. As 10 fingers generate the well-known Agni, the fire, O listener of words of enlightened persons, you please praise that Agni who is dear to his parents and is produced by a person who is in contact with enlightened persons. Praise also men who are masters of their senses. Parents of grass Agni are the space and earth. Parents of the soul of Agni could be Purusha and Prakriti. Agni produced by an enlightened person is the fire of knowledge. Men who have their 5 senses under control are definitely praiseworthy because they are extraordinary men. 23.4. Nitva dadhe vara aprithivya. O Atmi Agni, I place you in this best place on the vast earth, on the best right days, and am in command of speech. You reside in human bodies with pranas having many rock-like powers to destroy ignorance. You are in charge of thoughtful persons. Please enlighten me. Agni that is being talked about here is the fire of knowledge as indicated by the reference to command of speech. In human bodies or in the atmosphere, energy coexists with air. Agni supported by pranas help in an intelligent person to drive away ignorance. Fire of knowledge controls the actions of thoughtful persons. May Agni reveal knowledge of the self. This is the summary of the Rik. Last Rik of the Sukta is Ilamagne Purudam Samsanim Go. This is the same as 3.1.23. Today we will close our exposition with this Sukta. Sukta 24 we will take up next day. Viramastavat.